this is where we are. This is the state of affairs. Investigate both sides of the argument, come up with your own conclusions.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh flame.
Haiti, Haiti, Haiti. Let's go into some of this.
To talk about this, we're going to be joined by the Biden administration's former envoy to Haiti, Ambassador Daniel Foote. Ambassador Foote, thank you so much for joining us here.
Good to see you, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right, so we wanted to start by getting your reaction to Secretary of State Antony Blinken's comments yesterday, which come after his effort to kind of put together this transitional government on behalf of the Haitian people, but for the Haitian people. Let's roll a little bit of the Secretary of State here.
I was in Jamaica just a couple of days ago with all of the countries from the Caribbean, CARICOM, with other partners, including Canada, including France, including Mexico. All of this in support of Haitian-led efforts to find a political path forward, to get to a political transition. And that's exactly what was agreed the other day. The Prime Minister Henry, stepped down along with his government. A transitional presidential council, or college, as they call it, is being stood up. It's inclusive. It brings together most of the major parties in Haiti, as well as other key stakeholders like the private sector, like the interfaith community, to choose a new prime minister, an interim prime minister, to establish a national security council, and to put in place an electoral commission. That creates the pathway, the transition to elections and to a constitutionally mandated government.
Now, what struck me about the creation of this quote unquote transitional government that the U.S. is creating in Jamaica for Haiti is that one of the requirements to be part of this transitional government is that they must agree to allow in a UN quote unquote kind of peacekeeping force, which would be made up of Kenyan mercenaries funded by the United States, which the United States then says means that the troops are there at the invitation of the Haitian government. If you can follow that kind of NASCAR circular logic there for a moment. So what was your reaction to the Secretary of State's remarks yesterday?
I'm flabbergasted, Ryan. The hypocrisy and the naivete continues, and it's startling. You just heard Tony say that he mentioned, 10 different countries there that were there figuring out the way forward. One country that was absent in that list is Haiti. And what they're doing is trying to pull a solution out of thin air, but make it look like the Haitian-led solution. The international community chose 7 people representing 7 sectors, including the failed government of the past 14 years, which the Haitians won't accept. And then they want these 7 people to name a government. They gave them 24 hours, but it appears to be fungible because that's gone on about 72 hours now. I quit 30 months ago to try and get the right solution for Haiti, to continue to work with the Haitians. I've been channeling the Haitians' voice for a long time. And if the U.S. insists on pulling a solution out of thin air, saying it's a Haitian-led solution, and making the Haitians follow that, we haven't seen anything yet in Haiti. The people are not going to put up with this, and the violence over the last 10 days is just a little bit of a tease for what.
So Haiti has been in the news big time this past week. It's crazy because the craziness that's been going on in Haiti has been there for a while, especially since the assassination of their president. And it's been like at least 2 years since that happened, so it's got gangs. They're basically ruling the country. And you got you don't know who's funding these gangs. You don't know who they're really supporting. Different politicians are probably behind a lot of that stuff, And as far as the Haitian people, they want an election. They want to elect who they want to elect. And so, but the Western countries, they want to control and decide on who's going to be leaders of Haiti. And the Haitian people aren't going to have it. Like they have a history of not putting up with that kind of stuff and pushing back. And that's what's going to continue. But as a result, the Haitian people are the ones that are losing. I saw a video where they were showing that they were like blockading their neighborhoods. They would put trucks, they would turn trucks over on their side and block off the streets to slow down the gangs from being able to come. The gangs terrorize the neighborhoods and kidnap people and so forth and so on. It's really difficult to determine who's the good guys and who the bad guys are, because I think some of the gangs have good intentions or whatever, but again, who's funding these folks? What's up, Doc? How you feeling?
Hey, how's everything going today?
Chilling, man. Good to hear from you, man.
So, quick question. I'm working with a new setup and I'm dealing with background noise. Do I have a steady sound coming through when I'm not talking?
You sound good to me.
Cool. I'm trying to do what I can without spending 20 or 30 bucks to get a bubble around my microphone to get the ambient noise out.
You sound good to me.
I've turned it into a directional microphone and wrapped a towel around all the other ways for sound to get to it.
It sounds all right to me, man. Let me read a little bit of this. I think it'll give a bit of a background on this. So it says, in Haiti, a police officer turned gangster is trying to seize control of the country. So before Jimmy Barbecue Cherizier became the latest strongman vying to take power in Haiti, he was an officer in the Haitian National Police, according to UN sanctions notice.
Hold on one moment. The dude's got the street name of Barbecue. So I already have to say one thing. Further investigation is called for. Please continue.
Yeah, and they're going to say something about that here. Let me go ahead and read this, and then I'll say what I'm going to say about it. It says, while still serving in HNP, Cherizier planned and participated in November 2018 deadly attack against civilians, where at least 71 people were killed, more than 400 houses were destroyed, and at least 7 women were sexually assaulted by armed gangs, the UN sanctions notice said. He's gained the nickname Barbecue, which Cherizier insists came from his mother running a fried chicken stand, but critics say it draws from staging multiple massacres that left dozens of people dead, many of whom were burned alive when their homes were deliberately torched, according to the UN. Cherizier and coalition of armed gangs loyal to him, known as G9, have since laid siege to Haiti's main international airport, traded fire with troops at government sites, and sparked a mass jailbreak last week from the National Penitentiary in Port-au-Prince that freed almost 4,000 gang members. Yeah. So they went to the prison and released prisoners. Man, crazy.
Dude,
yeah.
It's like a supervillain plot.
Yeah.
I am going to arrange chaos. First, I'm going to free people to fight and cause chaos, and then I will take over in an ultimate coup.
Yeah, it's like
who's really the one taking over?
That is the question. So it's like the Joker.
This guy is not going to be the one that takes over.
Well, I mean, who's to say? I mean, he's already taken over. What's his name?
He's formerly someone who people put their trust in as a police officer. Now he has turned gang member, released criminals, and produced chaos. He is not the man.
Yeah.
He is a weapon. He is the bullet in a gun being pointed at somebody.
Yeah, I think there's some truth in that.
These guys don't rule. And if they do, they die before they can take over the country. Because nobody's going to have that.
Their pressure is what caused Henry to step down recently. He went to an African country trying to get support to bring troops back to help with the situation, but he ended up in Puerto Rico because when he was going to come back, they took over the airport and then they told him, I guess on the plane, bro, don't land, don't land in the airport, bro. You know, and so Cherizier was like, you know, we don't want this dude. You know, we want our elections. We want people, the Haitian people, to decide on who's running the show. Yeah. So, but then the thing is, this guy Henry has been supported by the West. So, but they have withdrawn their support, and they were the ones, I'm sure, they gave the phone call to him and was like, you know what, I think it's time for you to go ahead and, you know, take a back seat, and we can figure out, you know, who's going to be running the show. You know, that's where things are right now.
Dude, this guy he doesn't even look like the principal of the school, man. He looks like the coach.
Yeah. Well, sometimes the coach is the principal.
He's about two levels down from what I think. And this is total. You know, I read a little bit on this, some stuff going on. I mean, but he is not. This is not the kind of person you button for the leader after a revolution. He is the man that you use to help cause a revolution.
Well, I mean, if the Haitian people can finally get to choose who's their leader, then it would ultimately be a good thing.
Well, the thing is, who are the people behind these guys?
Yeah.
All we're seeing is the people they want to put on camera. And the people they want to put on camera right now, none of these are grandmaster chess players.
Yeah. So this first comment, it says Haiti doesn't manufacture weapons. How are they getting armed and staying equipped? See, that's a good question. You know, where are the weapons coming from? You know, who's funding this?
And weapons, if I'm not mistaken, firearms were illegal in Haiti.
Another comment, it says, why not leave Haiti to deal with its own mess? You know, and that's the whole
because
argument.
We helped cause it.
Exactly. But we're not trying to fix our mess. You know, it's like, you know, let the Haitian people work it out, you know, and I think they can handle it as long as outside influences don't keep on stepping in and trying to undermine what the people want.
The problem is, you want to know where they're getting their guns. The good chance is they're coming from one of two places: Venezuela or the United States.
Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of,
and it's a lot closer to Florida.
It's a lot of weapons that's gone missing that's supposed to go to Ukraine too. I wouldn't be surprised if some of those landed in Haiti. Let me read this one. It says, you don't obtain U.S. made weapons like that on your own. The truth shall come out. There's more to this. Another comment, it says, so still more qualified than Trump is what you're saying.
Oh, God.
How is that? I don't even get how that fits.
Just call him a dumbass and move along.
Another comment, it says, hey, Haiti is our problem, not only because the country is in our backyard, but its current state is a product of aggressive economic policy steeping the country in debt that they still technically owe to this day, and political interventions of the West, particularly France and the U.S. Slight FYI for those that say, why don't we just let them deal with their own problems, or that's not our business. It is, unfortunately.
I'm sorry, you may not agree with me, but I think that anything happens in the Americas and in this region is America's business. It may not be our house, but it sure as hell is our yard.
It's definitely in the backyard at the very least.
I mean, if not, it's the property right back behind us. You know, it's the way in. You know, it's part of. Why can't we figure this shit out in the Americas? Because all them people in Europe and Asia and all that, they're not going to change. All of us over here, we're new enough. We can still adapt. We can still do better. We're not stuck with 1,000-year-old laws and rules. Ours are only a few hundred years old. We still got room for growth. But it takes all of us. I mean, like I said, You want to pull the no borders thing? Make it a United States of the Americas.
I would like that. I mean, I would like that.
And I'm not 100% sure we want Canada to be part of it.
Blame Canada. Let me play this.
This morning, as Haiti spirals into chaos, dozens of U.S. Marines were choppered into Port-au-Prince. The elite anti-terrorism unit in place to reinforce security at the U.S. Embassy, which remains open. Members of Congress stepping up, organizing a private evacuation of 10 Americans, including best-selling author Mitch Albom, who wrote Tuesdays with Maury.
When we got there, the violence in Haiti really sparked. I felt responsible that we had to get those volunteers out.
Albom and his team trapped for a week, unable to leave the orphanage his charity runs.
Every night that we were there, you could hear the gunfire out in the street, not just a fired shot here or there, but rapid fire, automatic rifles, and it was getting closer every night.
He says he was heartbroken saying goodbye to the children, saying he's luckier than most who are still trapped there, with gangs controlling at least 80% of the city.
When we were in the helicopter, all crunched up on top of one another, and one of the pilots said, "You've now cleared Haitian airspace. You're in the Dominican Republic airspace." There was some applause by some of the people who were inside, but for my wife and I, it was kind of a gut punch because we realized that our kids are still there.
But the vast majority of Americans, like Jill Dolan, can't escape. She's calling on the U.S. government to begin evacuations.
Every day I wake up thinking, Lord, please send us a chopper. Please send us an airplane that's going to come and rescue us today.
Now, this crisis could certainly cause a spike in migration from Haiti. Two administration officials telling ABC News that Guantanamo Bay is now being considered to be a temporary processing facility for Haitian migrants should a mass migration event occur.
So they're going to send them to Guantanamo Bay if they try to come over here. Yeah, so they closed the U.S. Embassy over there and they airlifted out all of the people because things just got so crazy over this last week. And that's part of the reason why Haiti's been in the heavy rotation in the news this week.
Well,
and also,
the funny thing is when they send those special evacuation teams in like that, they take out all the people that don't want to stay. All the people that are left there now volunteered to stay. Amongst all of this going on, they still think that there's something they can do or positive things that they have just by being there. So the rest of the embassy staff and all of that, they've been told they can leave if they want to. That's what those Marines are for, to get them out. So they're saying, hey, this is the U.S. Embassy. We're going to stay here. It's not that bad yet, but it also gives them a base of operations to do stuff from too.
Yeah. You got to wonder why they would be so,
and a safe haven that they can escape to. If someone can escape one of our people that's unknown or breaks cover or this shit gets too bad for, they can get there and that's American soil. They can get away from what's going on.
Yeah. I can't help but to think that it would be some nefarious activities to want to keep them there. Maybe it's because they want to do good.
I'm not going to jump out and say nefarious. Maybe they want to. It may be nefarious activities, but like I said, they're volunteering to stay there. And, I'm not going to immediately accuse them of doing nasty shit, but at the same time, it's a possibility, which is why I brought it up. Me, I like to talk about both sides of the equation. I'm not going to assume it's for the bad thing, but I am going to say it and make it aware that, the bad thing is also on the table.
Let's read this.
Whenever you ask what would Jesus do, most people don't realize that kicking over tables and whipping people is an option.
Yeah. Let's read this. It says an elite. Yeah. And more than that, even it says an elite anti-terrorist unit. And that Jesus was against the establishment. So that's the thing. People want to be like, oh, I saw.
No, he wasn't against the establishment. He was against usury. He was against people suffering because of the establishment. He actually said, pay your taxes, pay your tithes, follow the laws, be humble in the laws, be humble in Christ. He didn't say he was not a rabble rouser. Matter of fact, the money changers, he whipped on them because they were charging high fees to people of certain faiths to change their money.
Yeah.
Because it was unfair. It was wrong. That's what he said. Fight against unfairness. He didn't say fight against the system.
Mm. Let me read this. It says, an elite anti-terrorism unit of the U.S. Marines choppered into Port-au-Prince, Haiti, to help secure the U.S. embassy that remains open despite a violent gang uprising that has shaken the incumbent government of the Caribbean country. Members of Congress have set up private evacuations for 10 Americans, including best-selling author Mitch Albom, but most Americans in Haiti can't escape and are urging the U.S. to take action. The crisis also raises concerns over mass migration from the island, with 2 administration officials telling ABC News that Guantanamo Bay could be used as a temporary migrant processing shelter. Comment, it says, just one question, and please pardon my ignorance. Where are the ammunition and guns coming from? Another comment says, U.S. needs to leave Haiti alone. Haitian people want their own leaders to run the country. Yeah. Another one that says, blame the Clintons and their rake over Haiti. Another one that says, I love Haitian people, but America is full. Democracy Now! Did a really good deal on this. Let me play some of this, and I'm going to look for that Democracy Now! Clip. This is Breaking Points. They do a good job, too. Hold on. Let me share. Because I think the background is what people need to know. Like, people don't understand what's happening, really. They just see the headlines. Let me see if they break down some of the background in this.
I've been following this for that long. Can you talk a little bit about, why you resigned and under what conditions?
Sure. So, as most people know, in July of 21, President Jovenel Moïse of Haiti was assassinated in his bedroom by foreigners, which kind of hurt the Haitians' feelings. They're upset. They're embarrassed. Their sovereignty has been overcome
trampled
many
on
times throughout history. And 10 days after that, so the guy who was the acting prime minister at the time stepped forward and said, okay, I'm in charge, despite the fact it was not constitutional. There was nothing constitutional. The Constitution broke. The U.S. and the international community, 10 days after the assassination, named Ariel Henry the acting prime minister via press conference, despite my and the Haitians' loud protestations. And at the time, we said this will not work. Even if the guy manages to hold elections, the people won't accept him. Now we're at the same point. He aligned with the gangs, did nothing for 2.5 years. Haiti's gotten much worse. The Americans have supported him the whole time. Finally, the Haitians stood up when he went out of the country, and the gangs were part of it, but the entire country is united and said, no more of this guy, wouldn't let him come back. At that point, the internationals panicked. Haiti's been a failed state and hasn't been in the control of anybody for the last 32 months. This guy can't get back in the country, and the U.S. all of a sudden needs to jam a solution in the Haitian people's ear that includes a military intervention that they need, but it won't work unless it's in support of the Haitians' way forward, not Tony Blinken's and the Mexicans and the EU and Canada and blah, blah, blah. The Haitians. And this is just another example of them meddling and installing white anointed government, a white conceived government, and it's going to fail. And I'm telling you, the Haitians have dealt with at least 5 U.S. political interventions in the last 109 years. They're not going to put up with a 6th. And I'm telling you, the violence you've seen is nothing compared to what you will see if they try to ram another prime minister that's illegitimate up the shorts of the Haitian people.
Yeah, Mr. Ambassador, maybe you could lay that out for us, sir, about some of the consequences. We've already seen like widespread gang violence. We previously had a guest on our show who said that some of that could be coming down as they anticipate maybe their potential roles in a future government. You seem to be predicting that this is not going to quell that violence at all. Maybe lay some of that out for us.
Everyone has sort of been united for the past 32 months that Henri can't do it. He needs to go. Hey, he needs somebody else. The gangs were kind of cool. You know, the gangs just went about their business for quite a period. Ariel was paying them. They were not doing stuff. He stopped paying them. He removed some fuel subsidies, which hurt their revenues. He left the country. The gangs turned against him now. I believe if the U.S. just doesn't do anything stupid and gives Haitian society a little space, that they're going to come together and reach a similar political consensus as they had 2 years ago, which the U.S. and the international community ignored, upon which they can build a solid political foundation. And the Haitian people who will be represented in this may be able to trust eventual elections. That's the goal here, that the Haitian people can trust eventual elections. Not that we can hold elections. That's easy. They held them in 2015 and 2016, and neither one worked. So they need to trust the elections or we're rushing to failure. And that's exactly what we're doing. You see, Secretary Blinken thinks elections is the magic pill. And it's not if the Haitian people don't feel they're a part of it and they don't accept the results of the election. We're going to be right where we are now and worse.
The wild card here seems to be the figure of Guy Philippe, this extraordinarily controversial figure who, was played a leading role in the ouster of Aristide in 2004, later elected to the Senate. Before he could take office in the Senate, the U.S. kind of renditioned him over here and locked him up for money laundering, charges related to drug trafficking for about 6 years. Now he's back, and
we covered that.
Seems to be on the ground in Haiti, speaking this kind of revolutionary language, this language of kind of Haitian sovereignty and dignity that is resonating with people. I think a lot of people probably don't believe that he's necessarily earnest about the rhetoric that he's using, but at least he's saying it, and at least he's in Haiti. I'm curious from your perspective, how popular is Philippe, and is there a world that he actually ends up taking power as a result of the ability of the gangs and others to just keep out anybody who is installed kind of?
No. Short answer, no. And earlier they just made the comments about how Ariel Henry was kind of like paying the gangs, giving them money, and then they turned on him. So it's like, the thing is, what's crazy and scary about the gangs is they're gonna go with whoever is supporting them or whatever. Like, they aren't necessarily on the side of the Haitian people, I don't think, but it's some of the people really do support, like Chiri, the gang leaders, in some ways, because they don't want outside interference and they're not happy with their government. So at least the gangs are doing something, but they're terrorizing the folks, they're uncontrollable, and the environment is not safe. They can't go to school, they can't work, they can't live like regular lives. Let me read some comments. It says, the first comment, it says, "This guy is right. America needs to leave Haiti the F alone." Yeah, that was one of the comments he said. And that kind of went along with what I said earlier. It's like, I think that, if they just let the Haitians hash it out, they can and will do it. I hate that, like, attitude of these people can't do it on their own. Like, they can't take care of themselves. They need outside influence, or, to be able to be successful. And I just don't think so. I think that, the more outside folks come in and meddle in their situation, the more they're not going to go with whatever the results end up being, You know, if they can organize things themselves and get things together themselves, and that's the only way that they're gonna support it. Like even if it ends up being not a good thing, you know, and if time goes by and they still don't get meddled with, then they'll make adjustments and they'll improve their plight. You know, another comment says the United States government is forming another government in Haiti in a hotel room in Jamaica. We'll see how that works out. Yeah. Another one that says, why is the U.S. forming a government for another country? This is the problem with us. We get into everyone else's business and then try to control it. I'm sick of it. Focus on the U.S. and let other countries figure out their own problems. You know, the thing when Trump says America first, I like that because it's like, take care of our business, take care of our folks, you know, sweep behind our front door, our porch. And let's focus on that. We got enough problems here in the United States than to be trying to go around the world and be the police for the world. Another comment says, here come the Clintons. Another one says, close the U.S. embassy and leave Haiti. I wouldn't go that far as the embassies. The embassies are good things. Another comment says, it's just exhausting trying to keep up with every atrocity my government commits in my name. This is just unsustainable. We need these monsters out of our government. Another one that says, calling Haiti a prosperous country is like saying the CIA isn't involved in this. Another comment says, the only thing I think watching this interview is, wow, Haiti had a U.S. ambassador that actually seems to give a F, and they still got screwed. Another comment that says, can't spell Haiti without CIA. Another one that says, why does America have to get involved in everyone else's business? Good effing question. There's some conspiracy theories floating around related to this thing too. That's why the Clintons keep on popping up. I don't know how involved they are in this kind of thing. You know, I don't know. They had power in the past. I don't know if they still do at this point. But a lot of people keep on saying their names. Let me play this clip here.
Have every reason to be mad because the Clintons have destroyed Haiti. And, you know, they pretend to be our friends when in reality they are our number one enemies. You know, there are some other people who clearly behave like they don't like us. So it's easy for us to protect ourselves against them because we know they are our enemies. But the Clintons are even more dangerous because they pretend to be our friends when in reality they're destroying Haiti.
Because I heard that the Clinton Foundation and all these other organizations gave over $6 billion
Pay attention.
to Haiti.
Watch what he's saying.
Especially during the kind of natural disasters that you guys have gone through. Is that true?
No, it's more than true. The money is much more than $6 billion. You see, after the earthquake, countries around the world donate billions of dollars. The amount was much larger than $6 billion. And Bill Clinton was in charge of the money. And not only people around the world, but also American celebrities donate a lot of larger money to rebuild Haiti. And hundreds of homes were destroyed after the earthquake. And if you can believe, the people are still living under tents. That's unacceptable. And not only they held the money, they kept the money, but Haiti had enough resources for them to be very comfortable. Haiti have oil, more oil than Venezuela. Nobody's talking about. Haiti have gold. We have one of the largest gold mine in the Caribbean. So, and they let the world, nobody's saying anything about our goals. Yeah. And who do you think is in charge of our goal right now? The contract. Yeah. Tony Rodham, Hillary Clinton's brother. Wow. He's got a 26 years contract. And then also Haiti used to produce, we used to produce our own rice. We didn't have to buy rice overseas. Bill Clinton destroyed our rice so his brother can sell the rice from Arkansas. Yeah, wow. So they're doing a lot of things. Right now, if there's a millionaire or a billionaire who wants to do business in Haiti, they cannot do anything unless they check with the Clintons. The Clintons are the one who's running Haiti. Yeah. And we are living in the 21st century. We are the first black people who liberate ourselves from the French rule. We fought 3 empires, the British, the Spanish, the French. So it's unacceptable for us to be occupied right now. They dropping disease in Haiti. They stealing our money. They stealing our resources. So we are out here. We are outraged for the crimes of the Clintons. Hillary Clinton have too much criminal records. She have no business running for president, especially for the news that came out in the email. Find out that the DMC made all these tricks in order to favor Hillary Clinton.
The question is, when it comes to Hillary Clinton's brother, how was he able to get that contract? How were the Clintons allowed to have such control of Haiti?
It's a family affair. Bill Clinton, the United Nations named him the chief guy who was in charge of rebuilding Haiti. And then while Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State, so it's a family thing. Chelsea Clinton, all the Clinton Foundation, they're just stealing money. And most of the money, I can tell you right now, I know they have a lot of speech for money around the world and for Wall Street, but most of the money they have right now is from Haiti, from the Haitians. And when they're letting the world know we are poor, let me give you one simple example. If you are super rich, and then I would go and tell the whole world that you are poor for years, for decades, and then everybody believes you're poor, and then I would come out and steal your money, and then you go and let everybody know I stole your money. They're gonna think you crazy because everybody knows, the world knows Haiti is the poorest country when we are not. We are rich. Haiti used to call the island of pearl. Haiti is still rich. So there are Haitian lawyers, Haitian doctors everywhere they are millionaires who wants to go and spend their money in Haiti. But the United States government, not only they stealing our resources, our money, they create kidnapping. Now we are even afraid to go to Haiti. You cannot walk in the street in Haiti. And then what the Clintons, they own the hotel, they go everywhere, they do whatever they want. This is unacceptable. I myself, I'm ready to die. I want the whole world to know who the Clintons are. This have to stop. This have to stop. It's time for us to stand up. We cannot take this any longer.
Amazing information. Where can people find out more about the resource?
He said he's ready to die. This is an old clip. It shows, though, that, you know, the Haitian people know a lot of stuff. Like, they're not ignorant folks. They're really politically astute. They understand how things work. You know, they just fight against things, you know, like this guy said, he's ready to die, you know, and they're talking about the Clinton Foundation and all of that stuff. I mean, that's years ago. I mean, all that money kind of evaporated, you know, they robbed all that stuff, you know, but this is not related to the current situation. I would say, you know, I don't know why people are making that connection. This is an old clip, and the power of the Clintons has diminished. I would say, you know, but what he was saying, putting the name of the Clintons on it doesn't work. But what he was saying about basically the neoliberals. If you replace Clinton with the neoliberals, then those comments still work for
the power
today.
of the Clintons has not diminished at all. The power of the Clintons is still there. It's just no longer in the spotlight because when she realized she couldn't become president of the United States over that jackass, she realized she will never be president of the United States. So once you make that realization and adjust your direction and goal, you go right back underground where you were, where you make your money the best.
And make your moves better too without being in the spotlight. But where he's talking about how, like, you know, the ones that come and act like they're your friend, but really they're not, you know, I think that's a really good way of looking at it and understanding what tends to happen when it related to Haiti. You know, they act like that they trying to look out for them, but they really trying to destroy them, pillage them or whatever. And the other comment he made about like Haiti being like the pearl of the Caribbean, it was known as like the richest freaking colony. You know, it was the most profitable colony. And
okay,
you know,
baseline, the viciousness used to control that colony testifies to how important it was.
Right.
The fact that 3 countries battled over it and kept taking it from each other proves that of all the places, that was one of the most important ones in the Caribbean, and being where it was, it was right in the middle of trade routes. It produced its own gold. It's big enough. It produced its own lumber and could build its own ships. I mean, it was.
Yeah, the sugar plantations. You know, it produced a lot of
Sugar makes rum.
Yeah,
Rum makes seagoing people happy. At least if you ask Johnny Depp.
Let's read some comments. It says, this is exactly why they want to ban TikTok. Another one, it says, this is exactly why I don't send to Red Cross and other organizations. I send directly to people. I like that comment. And you know, I want to say it was the Red Cross who it was what is the disease that makes you poop a lot and mostly kids end up dying from it because you get dehydrated or whatever.
The bane of every Oregon Trail player from the 90s to from forever.
Well, it was after the earthquakes.
You literally took your guts out.
They went over there, you know, to help after the earthquakes, and then it was found out that it was one of the, I want to say it was the Red Cross. One of their workers were the ones who started the freaking epidemic that wiped out thousands of Haitians died as a result of it, and they traced it back to I want to say Red Cross worker.
And the sad thing is, because he came from a first world, it didn't affect him. He didn't realize he had it. He didn't realize he was carrying it. I mean, so
you know, and the way
it's one of those cross-cultural things where they're an island culture. They do not have any kind of defenses against shit like that.
Yeah, their health defenses, and also the way that their infrastructure is built, you know, with latrines and so forth and so on, also exacerbated it. But there was arguments to say that maybe that wasn't an accident. You know, that's what some people were saying, that, you know, that it wasn't.
I'm trying to be a lot cooler and stuff like that, because, you know, you've a lot of people have jacked me about how hard I am on the Clintons, especially Hillary. They notice I always call her Killary, but, you know, am I that far wrong?
A lot of people would say that you're not.
I mean,
there's evidence to support your feelings.
If 45 was responsible for the abuses of police officers off in the state over there, because he was in charge of the ultimate line of enforcement and all that stuff, then the C people being in charge of that organization that brought it there and stuff like that are responsible for it happening. There were protections and stuff like that that were not considered. There were blood tests and things that weren't done that are done to, like, every military person that would have been sent over there. And it should be no different from the civilians if they're going into potentially dangerous environment. These resource workers, these help workers and things, they need to be tested and full up on their injections before they get on the plane or boat heading that direction.
Yeah, and I want to say they do that most of the time too, but it's like they lax rules when it comes to some places. So
when it comes to a national emergency and FEMA and emergency aid, they will overlook, or they will take private charters to go over.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to spend my $200 and fly,
Right.
so the organization
I don't have to go
doesn't
through
have
all
to
that.
spend it.
Right.
And it saves them money, and I can write it off because I spent $200, and I
Right.
can consider it a charitable donation
Right.
since I'm going there to work.
Right.
So
let
So
that could have been it.
Yeah.
That could have
Here we
totally been
go.
it.
How did the guy? What was his method of travel, and how did he come over?
Right. That's what we would need to know. Let me read a couple more comments. It says, this is the exact reason why they want to TikTok ban. Another one, it says, man, listen, France is our number one enemy. The United States is number 2 on that effing list. Another one, it says, America, Britain, you assassinated Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and JFK for nothing. Why is Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton still alive?
Because they're the ones in control of the triggers right now.
Another comment, it says, I believe it. It has been.
He's just Mr. Potato Head. He's there to distract people while she gets business done.
Wow.
Kind of like Biden was for Obama.
Like the puppet.
And Gore was for Bush.
Yeah.
Kind of like Harris is right now. It's because not a single sane person in the world would want to make that person president. And that's the way I'm beginning to think how vice presidents are chosen. Not by their qualifications, but how horrible it would be for them to actually run a country so no one dares assassinate the president.
Yeah. It's a protection ploy.
I mean, would you have wanted Pence to be president?
Yeah. And what's his name comes to mind too, with George W. Bush,
Cheney, definitely.
Cheney was scary, and he's the one who was getting a lot of stuff done.
He creeped me out more than he scared me. I knew his potential, so I was more creeped by what he would choose to do than scared by the position he was in.
Well, his position led him to be able to get a lot of stuff done, and got rich as hell out of it too. Let me read another comment. It says, I believe it has been a decade of Flint, Michigan still have tainted water, and the people have not been paid from the settlement. The people of Congo are under attack, no relief, yet Ukraine, Palestine is the concern.
Hey, wait a minute now. The Flint, Michigan River is not on fire anymore. I mean, so things are getting better.
10 years is a little bit improvement.
The fish aren't dying and bubbling up to the surface anymore.
Yeah.
Still can't eat them, but you know.
It's crazy how they got that suit and they still haven't given the money out to these people. That's crazy. Another comment says, he said there's no more justice anymore. Sir, there've never been justice here. Shaking my head. Learning the world through TV, I guess.
Well, any of the funds from stuff like that, if there's a power struggle or if there's something like that going on, they can legitimately sit back and go, yeah, we're pulling the money out until this conflict is resolved.
Well, yeah, the money is just sitting. It hasn't been distributed.
Absolutely. And guess who gets the insurance, the interest on it since it's their account?
Who's that? The government, I guess, whoever's holding it.
Who's in charge? Bill and Hillary. Clinton Foundation. They're in charge of the money. They're holding it. They're only responsible to give the money that was given to them to give over. So for what, 10 years now, they've been making interest on $7 billion. So when they give the money to them, they still only have to give $7 billion. They don't have to give all the interest accrued in the last 10 years. That's why holding off profits and stuff like that. And you can imagine how well they did during the pandemic, since they were all up, or she was all up messing in the middle of it too.
Yeah. And the part where they were talking about the gold mines and who was profiting from that, I remember all of that stuff was coming out. And in the media and the people don't really cover that stuff. Like,
I had missed that her brother had control of those mines. I had missed that in what I've read.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
I don't normally miss shit like that because I follow money.
Let's play a little bit more of this video on Haiti. Let's see.
from Jamaica, because like getting from Jamaica to Haiti, is still something that they have to pull off if they're going to install a government.
Oh, don't worry about the Haitians weren't invited to Jamaica. They're still in Haiti. So if they set up a government, they're already there. They weren't even invited to set up their own.
Right, true. So what about Guy Philippe?
Guy has always been able to mobilize a lot of people and has a pretty broad constituency in Haiti, because people think he kind of tells the truth. He's been involved in heavy drug trafficking. He just completed a 7-year sentence in the States for money laundering because they weren't unable to come up with the evidence to get him on what they really thought they had him for. And they sent him back. Part of me scratches my head and say, is there a scheme going on? Why would they send him back at this point in time? But we'll just ignore that. And Guy was a member of the former Haitian army, which we forced President Aristide to dissolve in 1994. There's still about 4,000 of these old buggers running around the hills of Haiti. They have weapons. They can mobilize. They're old. The weapons are old. But if they align with the gangs, and Guy Philippe and Maurice Jean-Charles, who was a communist politician from up north, is part of Guy Philippe's thing. If we because of the anarchy that's going on now, if we inject another bonehead puppet into the Haitian environment right now, it's very possible that Guy Philippe, Maurice Jean-Charles, or Barbecue might wind up taking power. However, if we give them time and space, the gangs have already quieted down. You notice that, haven't you? Ariel stepped down. They quieted down. They stopped breaking stuff because they were breaking stuff to tell Ariel, don't come back, and tell the international community, don't put another puppet in. Well, Ariel listened so far. The internationals haven't. So who knows what's going to come out of this? The key is it's Haitian-led, and it's going to be Haitian-led one way or the other. If the U.S. injects somebody in through this seven-headed Hydra presidential council, the people will rise up and it'll be a Haitian-led solution. Or if we give them space, it'll be a Haitian-led solution. And the revolutionary rhetoric is real. Guy is not coming up with that as the intellectual author. That's the feeling on the States, the feeling on the streets. The feeling on the streets is we didn't finish the job in 1804. We've let the white people push us around for the last 209 years. And at this point, we're going to finish the Haitian Revolution and be independent one way or the other.
It'll be.
That's heavy. And man, don't underestimate that feeling of revolution with the Haitians. And they'll cut people's heads off, like people got to go, they don't care, and earlier, the part where how many times does it always be these past officials being caught up in money laundering and drug trafficking and all of that? I want to say recently, one of the past former Mexican president of Mexico, just got caught up on drug trafficking or whatever, like some deals he made with the cartel, and they arrested him and sent him to jail or whatever. And this guy was a former president. He was official, you know what I mean? And it's like, how many times? It's like the revolving door. It's kind of like how Congress with the lobbyists and with the CEOs, how you have this revolving door with the politicians going in and out of the corporations and being lobbyists and being government officials and passing laws that are friendly to these corporations. And then they leave out of Congress, sit down for a year or two, and then all of a sudden they have this cush job with the same company that they were, passing friendly laws for or whatever. So, and then when we talk about all the money getting lost going to Ukraine, and we talk about all the money going to Israel and so forth and so on, it's like how much money laundering is involved in that. You know what I mean? What am I trying to say here? Like, the money's getting lost. We don't know where it's going. They keep on asking for more money. It's like, what is really happening here? So when we talk about drug trafficking and then we talk about money laundering, these things go hand in hand. It's like hand in hand. It's like gun running and so forth and so on. You're making all of this money and you need a way to hide it or whatever. You need or a way to legitimize it or whatever, you know. And we talk about gangs becoming politicians, gang leaders becoming politicians, you know. What's the damn difference anyways? One wears a suit. Anyways, let me see. I want to move on from the Haitian thing, but it was a good Democracy Now clip. Let me see.
Politicians care how they get there, and they don't leave a trail of bodies. Gang members don't.
Yeah. Both sides leave a trail of bodies. Let me see if can I find this. I thought I had this set up, but apparently I didn't. I don't see it. How long ago did I watch that video? Was it on this channel? God. Let me see. Democracy Now! Haiti. Let me see if that'll work. Have you been seeing Haiti's been going down your timeline a lot?
No, actually, it hasn't. That's why I'm up to the jailbreak, and I really don't know much about anything since then.
Yeah, since then it's been a lot of developments. Ariel Henry has stepped down. One year ago. Let's do, I think it was this one I was watching. Does it show the background in this? I want to move on from this, but I want to do a little bit more to make sure that people get the background and kind of get a feeling for what the hell. Prime Minister, he resigned. Let me see that. It might be this one.
We're beginning today's show with Haiti, where the unelected Prime Minister Ariel Henry has announced he'll resign once a transitional council is established. He made the announcement after Caribbean leaders, U.S. Secretary of State Tony Blinken and others held an emergency meeting in Jamaica to discuss the crisis in Haiti, where armed groups launched an uprising last week against Henry. He announced his resignation in a video message posted online.
After the Council of Ministers, it's been agreed to set up a presidential transitional council. Once chosen, the council will govern over different sectors of national life. Haiti wants peace. Haiti needs stability. Haiti needs sustainable development. Haiti needs to rebuild democratic institutions. I'm asking all Haitians to remain calm and do everything they can for peace and stability to come back as fast as possible for the good of the country.
The Miami Herald is reporting CARICOM has proposed a plan to set up a 7-member presidential panel that would appoint a new interim prime minister who would rule until elections are held. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley said the panel would only include Haitians who support the deployment of a UN-backed security force. Last week, Prime Minister Ariel Henry traveled to Kenya, which is slated to lead the security mission. He's been unable to return home and was reportedly most recently in Puerto Rico. On Monday, one of the leaders of the recent armed uprising in Haiti, Jimmy Cherizier, who's known as Barbecue, warned against outside forces picking Haiti's next leader.
We take this opportunity to say to the international community that if it continues down this path, it will plunge Haiti into chaos when it chooses a small group of politicians and negotiates with them on paper to decide who can be president and what kind of government we're going to have. Today, it's clear that it's the inhabitants of the working class districts and the Haitian people who know what they're suffering at the moment. And it's up to them to choose the person who's going to lead them and the way he's going to lead them.
For more, we're joined by Jemima Pierre, professor at the Social Justice Institute, University.
That stuff sounded good, right? What he was saying, hearing Trezier talk right there, you know, it sounds like he's supporting the people right there, right? I mean, we don't know that that's true or whatever, but those words sounded good.
If you filter it through every politician I've heard, that means they're going to have gang members at the polling places to make people intimidated to vote the way they want.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, man. He's a gang member and a militant. He is by nature authoritarian, and he is willing to kill and intimidate to get what he wants. Whether it's good for the people or not, it is what he wants.
Well, if the people that they get to choose from are
remember, this guy was a police officer at one time. He originally wanted to embody the trust of the people, and I'm giving him a small benefit of a doubt if he chose that becoming a gang leader and doing what he's doing was better than being part of the police.
Yeah.
But
well, him being part of the police, it sounds like he was supporting the establishment, and you know, it was a lot of crooked.
Well, like I said, well, no, that could be either way. We don't know about that. He could have gotten disillusioned because of what he had to do as a police officer, or he could go, fuck this, I can get more power and money by running the gangs, because now I know about them, because being a police officer, I've worked it.
Right.
I mean, I need
he
to
could have
know
been a
more
gang
about
member
him
the whole
a
time,
lot.
even while he was a
Yes.
police officer.
Do you know how many gang members go into military service strictly so they can come back and teach other gang members the ability to use small arms, small unit tactics, and things like that? They've been doing that since the 80s and 90s. That I know of. I don't know about before that.
Yeah. So, but if the people that the Haitian people got to choose from, if the people were, you know, the ones that were up there to get voted on, if those are actual Haitian folks that, you know, the Haitian people want to choose from, then it still ultimately will be good, opposed to people that were put up by the West.
Even you're talking about, though, how the people are flipping trucks and making barriers to stop the gangs in their own neighborhoods.
Right. So that tells you something.
So the people don't want them either.
Right. Yeah. That tells you something. Definitely tells you something.
I'm, like I said, I'm trying to give a benefit of a doubt because I don't know his origin story. And this guy, this barbecue guy, he's going to be a really good one season on Netflix kind of story, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Because you look at his childhood, you look at his police service, you look at him becoming a thing, you look at him becoming a revolutionary and doing this. That's a very interesting story arc for a human being.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it.
Oh, shit. I've been missing comments. Man, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. The Twitch dude was just being a twat.
Oh, shit. I've been missing the comments. I apologize for missing comments, y'all.
Yeah, he didn't like you, and then he didn't like me. He said, because I'm growing a beard, I'm trying to hide the baldness. It's like, no, I'm just old. It's not growing. It's like pulling in up here and coming out fucking everywhere else.
Damn. So these are like an hour ago.
Yeah, none of them are really helpful, or I would have pointed you to them already.
Okay.
If we had caught him in time, we could have made a conversation out of it, just because he's obviously one of those and we could have fun with him.
I hate it when I miss the comments, though. I hate that. I wish I had this clip where it was showing the people putting up the barricades for their neighborhood. I don't know where that was. If it was in this video or was somewhere else. It's really sad that they have to do that. Just to have some little bit amount of like, autonomy or a little bit of safety, like, they gotta block off their whole ass neighborhood. Like, it's so sad. They can't trust, they don't have police, they don't have anything, they don't have a government functioning. They gotta do it on their own completely. Let's play a little bit more of this and we're gonna move on. And if Haiti pops up again, then hopefully I'll see the clip that I was talking about with the trucks. But let's play a little bit of this and we're gonna move on.
British Columbia in Canada and research associate at the University of Johannesburg. She's a Haitian American scholar and co-coordinator of the Black Alliance for Peace's Haiti Americas team, which has been closely following the crisis in Haiti. She has a recent piece in NACLA headlined Haiti as Empire's Laboratory. Welcome back to Democracy Now! Events and developments are proceeding quickly, Professor Pierre. Can you respond to Ariel Henry's announcement, we believe from Puerto Rico, that he will be stepping down and what exactly that means?
That's why I like Democracy Now! Is because, like, we want to hear from the Haitian people. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone is talking on their behalf and trying to explain the situation or whatever. And it's like, where's the voice of the people?
Okay. You do know one thing about Haiti, like Jamaica. Their politics, their people speaking out, they get violent responses.
Yeah.
If you speak out against something and one of the gangs doesn't like you or one of the groups doesn't like you, they'll come and fuck you up.
They'll come and get you.
It's not like here in the U.S. where you say something bad and they'll completely purge your life and everything. They at least leave you alive.
Yeah. Well, journalists have been dying left and right everywhere. So Mexico, shit, even the United States. But hearing from the Haitian people, like, that's another thing from the media, this corporate media that we have, well, all we get is talking heads, and they don't do like real op-eds. They don't do talking to the folks, talking to the real people. It's hard to get good information when it's filtered.
It's news entertainment. It's not news.
Right. And I want to hear from the people.
News entertainment, like wrestling is fighting entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah, man, that's what it has become. And it's not very much journalism, And
MMA would be the equivalent of the off media and stuff like that. But even that is kind of scripted and given to you.
Yeah. So, but we want to hear from the people. Like, we're talking about Haitians and what their plight is. And the whole conversation, we never actually talked to a Haitian. Like that just shows how, the things are, and they don't really even care about what the Haitian people want. It's like, what do I want?
It tells you that the Haitian people themselves are afraid to show themselves on camera with an opinion because someone's going to come after them.
I don't think so. I don't think they're afraid like that. I mean, maybe they would have repercussions, but the media doesn't cover the stuff, Well,
see, that's why they're not doing interviews and things like that. You can go there, you can get the guy on the street, you can get him talking, but you can't get them to come on a show and talk and things like that.
All right, let's play a little bit more of this and I'm gonna move on.
And we always, and half of our freaking things right now end up asking them shit like, well, how is gender representation handled in your country?
Yeah.
And things like that. It's like, that's not just a softball, that's just a dumbass ball.
Having me back again.
But it gets clicks.
Yes.
I wanted to, it is interesting what many people are saying is that how could a prime minister that was not chosen by the people or any election?
Well, I have to say, she's in Vancouver and she's like an academic, so she's still not really like direct Haitian.
She's a foreign exchange student.
Yeah, so we're still not getting a direct words from Haitian on the ground,
Not what's going on right now, but at least I believe that she has family and stuff back there.
Yeah.
She's here to get her education and then go back home, family.
Yeah.
It's in her best interest that this is handled in a way for the people. So when she goes back with her degree, not only can she do some make money and stuff like that, she can do some good for the people.
Right.
At least I'm hoping that's what it is.
Hopefully.
Resign when he didn't have a mandate to begin with. And so what I see and what many see is this charade apparently happening, in the sense that they're trying to put a veneer of legality on this situation, basically saying that Henri has to resign in order to have a presidential council, in order to move on with so-called free and fair elections. And so, to me, the people making decisions continue to make the decisions, and the resignation is only a veneer of legality for those making the decisions. And that itself is a problem that is not going to be solved.
And Professor Pierre, this all the coverage that we're getting here in the United States is of chaos created by gangs in the street. You have a different perspective and view of these so-called gangs, and you actually object to that use of that term. Could you talk about why and the role of the gangs in forcing Henri out?
Well, like I said yesterday, the problem that people focus on, and what makes the media, what makes the mainstream news in the U.S. is just pictures of extreme violence by these groups. I don't like the term gangs because I don't think these are gangs. It's an extremely terrible and racialized term used, especially when it comes to people from Haitian nations like Haiti. And I think these are armed groups. Some are paramilitaries, and some are just armed groups that have access to guns. And in that sense, we have to be clear that this is not a bunch of people running around in terms of thinking about movies from the 1990s in the U.S. about gangs. And so that's the first. The second thing is that the so-called gang violence is actually not the main problem in Haiti. The main problem in Haiti is the constant interference of the international community. And the international community here is very explicitly the U.S., France, and Canada. What's fascinating about yesterday's negotiations with CARICOM is the fact that the key negotiators, so-called foreign negotiators outside of the CARICOM countries, were U.S., France, Canada, and Mexico. What's fascinating, and that's problematic in itself, because it was U.S., France, and Canada that were behind the coup d'état that removed our elected president, that led us to this the precipice that we're in right now. And so, how is it that France, of all places, why is it all the way in the Caribbean negotiating on behalf of Haiti? The other part is these negotiations were happening. The foreign governments met first in a secret meeting that did not include Haitian participants, and then later on let in the Haitian participants. And then the foreign governments laid out rules of engagement, which means that you cannot be part of the discussion if you don't agree, first of all, to this foreign military intervention that the U.S. is planning for Haiti. And so that tells us, what does that tell us? That the U.S. makes the decisions, that this is the status quo, and that the same things that happen now will flare up again later.
And what interest does the U.S. have in Haiti and Canada as well?
Right. People always ask, why is it that the U.S. has so much interest in Haiti? And we have to ask that from the very beginning, because the U.S. has been trying to control Haiti for a very long time, since the late 1800s, when it wanted the Mont Saint Nicolas Island inlet, the top part of the island, because the Haiti's on the Windward Passage, which is a direct route through there to the Panama Canal for the U.S. to reach Asia. The U.S. needs to have a very strong force there in order to stave off, Cuba, Venezuela, and so on. The U.S. needs Haiti for its corporations and cheap labor, because Haiti has 12 million people in its population, the largest country in CARICOM, and Haiti's been destabilized by the U.S. over and over again. And this mission, I wanted to also say, this mission that people are calling a UN mission is a problem, because it is not a UN mission. It's a UN sanctioned mission. But if people read the print of the the resolution that allows for this deployment, and it's a Chapter 7 deployment, which means that these forces can use extreme force by land, air, and sea. If they read the agreement, it says that it's not officially a UN mission. It's a mission led by volunteer states. That means that they have to pay for it, which is why Blinken, in the U.S. said that the Department of Defense is adding more money, and that's why Blinken is paying for the Kenyans $200 million. Now it's $300 million to come in and do this. And so this not being an official UN mission means that it's actually more precarious for Haitian people, because when we think about human rights, at least we had the veneer of protection under a UN occupation when we had MINUSTA, the UN occupation, occupy Haiti from 2004 to 2017. And everyone remembers what this occupation meant for Haitians. It meant cholera that killed 10 to 30 million and sickened,
That's what I was trying to say
10 to
earlier.
30,000 and sickened 1 million. That brought lots of extrajudicial killings and murders and sexual exploitation of young girls and women in Haiti. And so for us, what occupation means is this. And so now, and these were the people who were under UN rules of engagement. This mission to Haiti is not under UN rules of engagement. And for people to say, for those running these negotiations to say that the first requirement to be able to participate in this conversation is to allow this foreign force of Kenyans who don't speak English, who are known for their human rights abuses, to me, that's a very big problem. And I have to say just one thing quickly, this reminds me of something that Dantes Bellegarde, who was a Haitian diplomat in the early 1900s while Haiti was also under occupation, where he said, God is too far and the United States is too close. And I think that this is what a lot of people are feeling right now in Haiti.
And finally, is this going to allow Henri to come back into the country now that he said he is planning to step down? And what about the implications that Henri was involved with the assassination of Moise, having spoke repeatedly on the phone to Badio, who is the man in the room with Moise and the Colombian assassins who identified this is the precedent for them to kill, and had been to Henri's house multiple times. So was he implicated, and do you think he will come back to Haiti?
I'm thinking about some of the comments that she said, and it's like, the Haitians got a bad taste in their mouth from, the UN or whoever coming over there trying to help or whatever when cholera breaks out and all this bad stuff happens. Like, they just don't want that, And then I think about money too, because then she was talking about how it's like not an official UN mission. So then you got this private stuff going on and you got the money coming in. So then like, there's an economic opportunity for independent contractors or whatever to get involved in this.
Okay. The biggest thing that I say is a fucking no-go over the whole situation. It is not an official UN mission. It is co-adjacent and blah, 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 which means technically, because of all of that, they are not bound by the rules of modern warfare.
Right. And then you're bringing in
torture,
sexual assault, all of that.
Anything and everything is on the table in pursuit of the mission goal.
And then they go to Kenya and they try to use Kenyans to come over here and help them secure Haiti or whatever. And it's like, these Kenyans, do they really care about the Haitians?
Kenyans fuck people up too.
Yeah, exactly. And think that they really care.
These people, the thing is, we are descendant of the Europeans. Because of that, we fight nice and pretty. These people that we're fucking with right now, they don't fight nice and pretty.
Yeah.
They fight hard. We're not really ready to go into that.
Yeah. It'll be ugly.
Yeah.
And then you got the Kenyans, and it's like I say, like, do they really care about the Haitians or whatever? And then it's gonna be the independent contractor money, and it's going to be all about the money.
We get to fuck with and kill Americans. Yeah. Let's go get them.
Let's go get them and let's get that check.
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm not sure. We'll come back to Haiti because he's become persona non grata. Even though I think he's not the main problem. The main problem is the so-called international community running Haiti.
And she keeps stressing on that too. And it's like she says the gangs is not the real problem. The real problem is the international community going in and messing with stuff over there. And I was wondering because Henry, he said he wants to come back to Haiti. He wants to come back. So. Can he come back? How long will it take for him to come back? They're gonna get him if he does come back. Should he just
I'm
retire, stay in Puerto Rico?
Obama fooled me with that little speech that he gave, that clip of saying, "Hey, I'm stepping down because that's what you guys want, and I want to tell everybody supports me or not. This is what we need to do. We need to look at Haiti. We need to put Haiti first." And all that. I liked the guy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a bad guy or anything like that. We have plenty of other evidence. He's a good politician. And he is Haitian. Right?
Yeah.
I don't see why he can't run even if he loses.
Yeah. Well, his connections to the assassination is another part, where the Haitians don't trust him. And he wasn't elected. They didn't choose this guy. He was just kind of appointed,
Who appointed him now?
Really, it was the U.S. who said, yeah, so de facto, this guy is now the leader of Haiti. And then he went directly, started abolishing.
Were we the ones that recognized him first?
Yeah. Yeah. Damn it, I forgot what I was going to say. I That I lost it.
Ali is implicated in the assassination, which is why we also have to ask why the U.S.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. The same countries who were involved in the assassination are the same countries who were trying to, put new government in charge or whatever. And that's like crazy as hell. You think that the Haitians gonna really go for that shit? Like, come on.
Supported Henri all these 30 months, despite the fact that they knew that he was implicated in the assassination. What Henri has to be concerned about is the U.S. sanctioning him and also later on charging him in this assassination. And so, I'm not sure this solves the problem that's been going on in Haiti. People said, journalists were reporting that the streets were calmer yesterday, but I'm not sure that people are going to take this, because what it does, it just demonstrates that Haiti is continuously under this occupation of these foreigners. And I have to say, one of the other conditions that Mia Motley, working on behalf of the U.S. said was, in addition to for you to be at the negotiating table, you have to accept the multinational corporation, but you also have to accept that when there is an election board set up for the transition, that those negotiating cannot disagree with the results of the election board. And so they set the parameters for them to choose the next leader of Haiti. And that to me means that this problem will continue, and there's going to be more flare-ups in the next.
Go ahead.
No, I was doing a little side research to interject in a minute, but sorry, I didn't realize. Ariel Henry was appointed by the previous leader.
That's not possible, because the previous leader was assassinated. he was murdered. There's no way.
It says also deemed unconstitutional on legitimate was Henry's tenured self, but at least he was appointed by Jovenel Moïse, a duly elected president.
Well, because he was a part.
Next few years.
Oh shoot, he was a part of like the cabinet. He was like he had some kind of position. I can't remember what his position was. He was like I don't know. He wasn't even like a vice president though. He was something. He had a position within like the cabinet.
He had previously been president though.
Well, I don't know about that, but he was appointed by Jovenel Moise to be in the cabinet or whatever. So yes, that part is true. But then Jovenel Moise was assassinated, and then
the cabinet decided to put him in there.
No, not really, because that wasn't the procession of power. That wasn't the way it was supposed to go. You know how like there's always a setup situation for like, you know, something happens to the president.
Yeah,
and this
see,
person
all I'm seeing is half information, and it sounds like you haven't like up on this right at the moment either.
I've been on this stuff. So, but like I say, the procession of power was supposed to go a specific particular way, which is already written, and that's not how it happened. You know, it somehow this guy Henry ended up being the president, and it wasn't the way it was supposed to go. If that makes sense. You know, I don't want to say it wrong. That's the reason why I leave it like that. Let me let her finish her little thing, and I'll probably read some comments, and then we're gonna get up out of here. As far as the Haiti thing,
if we don't catch this by its root, if we don't stop this problem by its root, which is the constant U.S. imposition of its terms on Haitian people and the denial of Haitian sovereignty.
Jemima Pierre, we want to thank you for being.
Yeah. So basically, she's saying it's gonna continue to flare up. You know, they're not fixing the problem. You know, it's like stomping out fires. You know. You stomp out fire, you run over there and stomp out another fire, you run out and stomp out another fire, and it's like it's not really getting at the root.
Okay, so yes, he was appointed by the previous one.
He was appointed into his position on the cabinet.
No, listen to me. On July 5th, 2021, he was selected as the next prime minister of Haiti by President Jovenel Moise. But Moise was assassinated 2 days later.
Yeah, so how could he be appointed to be president by the president?
Like I said, he was selected, and it was announced 2 days before the assassination. At the time, the incumbent prime minister, Claude Joseph, took control, and with the backing of the military, was acknowledged by right as the prime minister. Claude Joseph was. A group of diplomats went to Haiti called Core Group, blah, 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 bunch of fucking European bullshit, called on Henry to take charge instead. And Joseph stood down in favor of Henry. So Brazil, European Union, France, Germany, Spain, and Canada, and the U.S. is the core group that told the incumbent prime minister, Claude Joseph, to step down for Ariel Henry, who was chosen by the president to take over in case.
So
but
it is
all wrapped up in a whole bunch of conspiracy about, he knew he was going to get. So he made that thing to, stop people from fighting over it, and they still fought over it. And
so it's basically the West who, sanctioned that situation.
We are all up in that, like a friggin' college boy on a cheap date night.
Let me read a couple of comments underneath this video. It says, Haiti needs a nationalist leader. We're sick and tired of puppet leaders. Another one, it says, Haitian problems require Haitian solutions. The international community shouldn't be deciding for us. Another one, it says, no more U.S.-backed politicians. Another one is saying, Haiti for Haitians. It says, as Haitian American, I know the system very well. Haiti won't ever have peace till the people choose their own leader. Another one says, I want Haiti to have peace. Another one that says, CARICOM, let Haitian people pick up their president. Don't interfere. Another one that says, Haiti was the first nation of Black people to free themselves from the Western imperial dominance. The West has made Haiti pay for that ever since. And earlier at the beginning, the name of the show today is Cursed or Not. And what I was saying was, you know, in the Bible, it's got the children of Ham, and you got African Americans here in the United States who feel like they're cursed because they feel like they're the children of Ham. And you got people who feel like Haiti is cursed because of they do voodoo or whatever, you know. It's a lot of reports where they're talking about their eating people and stuff like that. And so, like, what I'm saying is, you know, people are saying, you know, Haiti getting earthquakes and all of this drama is related to them being cursed, you know. And what I'm saying is that it's the people. What was that last comment that made me think of it? Haiti was the first nation of Black people to free themselves from Western imperial dominance. The West has made Haiti pay ever since. And, you know, is it that Haiti is cursed, or is it that Haiti, you know, got their independence violently, and, you know, they made every person that showed up on Haiti as free. They killed the white slave owners and took their land back and all of this, you know. Is that the reason why Haiti is going through stuff, or is it because they're cursed? You know. Let me read another comment. It says, I would not make one iota of difference that Henry will resign. The US, France, Canada, and the core group will simply pivot and appoint a new puppet with CARICOM's acquiescence. And that's very likely to end up being what's going to happen. But it'll still, like that lady said, it'll just lead to more drama down the line, because at the end of the day, the Haitian people, they're not going to accept that, and they're going to keep fighting back. So it'll be drama for who, if someone, you know, if another puppet gets put in there, he's going to have a powder keg on his hand. The situation is going to be very difficult to deal with. They're not going to make it easy for him. Another comment says, let Haiti pick its own leaders. Why does America feel it has the right to interfere with countries other than its own? I'm Kenyan, and if our president keeps insisting on playing puppet to the U.S., we the citizens will put him down. He can move to the U.S. Most Kenyans don't want to be a part of this. And another thing related to Jovenel Moise getting assassinated, the people weren't happy with Jovenel Moise. They wanted him out of there. He had gone beyond his term limits and stayed in there and kept putting the election off and pushing it off and pushing it off. And the Haitians didn't want him in there. They didn't like him. And so, but then somebody coming in and assassinating him pissed them off, even though they didn't want him in there, because it's like, y'all don't have the right to come over here and get this guy out of here. It's us that, you know, need to do that or whatever. So they felt like it was an attack on them. You know what I mean? Like, even though they didn't like him, but this, like, he was our president, and y'all can't just come over here and assassinate him, even if we don't want him in there. That's not the way this is supposed to work. That's another little caveat to the situation. So they wanted him out of there. He kept pushing the elections back. A couple more comments. We're going to move on. It says, and I agree, no one should pick their leaders for them. The people should pick their own leaders. It says, in 1914, the U.S. sent Marines into Haiti and stole their gold reserves. There is a gold mine in Haiti owned by two Canadian corporations. Barrick owns 60% of Gold Corp owns 40%. It took Haiti 122 years to pay the French, who basically extorted them for 2 times they owed. Always follow the money. You know, yeah, and there's a
sounds familiar.
Yeah, time and time again, same play. There's a post about how France actually stole money. Like, you know, we talk about them having to pay back because of the revolution is one thing, along with interest and so forth and so on. But they actually went in there and stole, like literally took money out of the banks. They took the gold out of the banks, like robbed them literally. during one of their, military incursions into the country. A couple more comments. It says, the so-called gang violence is actually not the main problem in Haiti, Jimmy Pierre. This could not be further from the truth. Please come to Haiti and live the current situation. Tell the average Haitian family that the gangs are not the main issue. When your family suffers from strongholds that the gangs have on this country, you can't say that it's not a main issue. Yes, there are other issues at play, but the Haitian people are being displaced from their homes and are barely able to survive due to the gang activity. The other issues have always existed, but the gangs and whatever powers are backing them have created this current humanitarian crisis. I get this person's comment and his consent, from his point of view on the ground, the gangs are the number one problem. But old girl being an academic, and she's looking at it saying that, the root causes of the gangs is another thing, is what she's trying to say.
Well, he presented that too, or whoever is behind them. They know that the gangs aren't running around doing this on their own.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's someone behind them. And that's, like you said, that's the difference between academia and person that gets involved right there. Knowledge is nothing without experience. It requires knowledge and experience to create understanding. And that's part of the reason why a lot of the college kids come out, and I'm not bagging on them and stuff like that. They come out having learned a whole bunch of knowledge, but not been taught how to think for themselves, but been taught how to think to please their teachers. And there's a big difference when you hit the real world and you have to use your knowledge and your experience to learn more.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a divide between theory and practical reality. And when you're in school, it's all about theory, and a lot of times that stuff just don't work once you hit the street. Let me read another comment. It says,
I'm half tempted on saying college, not trade schools and stuff like that, but like actual college. You should wait till you're 21 to get in. That way you got 2 or 3 years of real life experience. So
it'll help you understand.
You're getting into perspective.
Right. You need perspective. And that's the problem with the way that they educate us, is they don't give enough context. Like, I hate the way that they teach history. They tell you this date and this name and to remember that or whatever. So, but what is the context related to that date and that name? That's missing. And it ends up leaving the kid thinking that he knows stuff because he knows the date and the name and he memorized it, but he doesn't really understand what it meant in the context of the time.
Technically, that's what college is supposed to be for. You take all that crap that you learned and all that knowledge that you put in your brain, and then learn to use the different types of knowledge to apply to different situations and questions and scenarios. Your professor presents you with an intellectual problem, and you solve it with the knowledge that you have acquired, and then you learn to think based on the knowledge and stuff like that. And then the professor is supposed to then discuss with you the different ways you could have approached it without a lean toward one side or another or any potential outcome. It should be, how did you apply your knowledge to this? Did you know about this? Did you look? Okay, did you research this and read about it? Or did you just use your basic zero knowledge?
Couple more comments. It says, good luck, Haiti. Hope you all find a way to bring stability to your nation. Peace be with you all. Killing and brutality to your own people and one another will never bring peace and happiness and prosperity. Like, they don't know this. Another one that says, Haiti has essential minerals. Another one that says, Haiti needs to pick up its own leaders
It don't matter what happens here. This is going to be hard. It's going to be bloody, and it's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
Looks like we got us another hit. Yep.